Penix gets out there and starts spinning it, they will get on board,
Oh, hold up,
they
man.
gonna see him spinning in the preseason.
Hold up, K Dub. Somebody knocking on the door, bro. Got to bring him
Okay,
in, man. Somebody knocking on the door. Hold up.
all right,
I wonder who that was.
Oh, Lord.
let's
There
go.
he is.
Hey,
My
man,
God.
look.
There he is.
It's about time. Listen, you running on CP time right now. You see, we got this lovely spread up in here. See,
Right.
I got this constructed for y'all, and I got
Right.
the fried chicken down here because of Smitty. And Smitty ain't came through here yet, man. But now we got our man A1 Forever, Chris Moore, into the building. What's going on, bro?
Good,
Hey man, how
good,
y'all
good.
doing, man? Every day's a great one. How y'all feeling?
Going,
You
going
got your
Feeling
already,
plate
good,
of
bro.
man.
food, right?
Oh yeah, man. Got my plate of food, man. I'm ready to get my fill in.
Let's
Get them
go.
green.
So,
Get them green.
yes, sir. So K Dub just pretty much answered the question. I don't. He touched somewhat on the fan part because he said he was blocking everything out. I'm gonna let you answer that part because he did his own thing with that question. How do you?
I talked about the fans.
Not
I'm
as much
about to
as
Yeah,
be
he
for
should.
about two
let them hate,
seconds.
let them haters be your motivators. I don't want to get into the he'll say, he say, she say.
Oh, it's
Block
not the
these
he.
haters
It's
out.
not the he say he say she say things that's worried. It's pretty much the part where we speaking about our own fan base right now. I don't give a
Mm-hmm.
damn about the media. It's our own fan base.
And
So,
it's
Chris,
divided.
Mm-hmm.
why in the hell are we so divided in this fan base? And the thing is, the name of the game is win. And there, it seems
Yeah.
like they're pissed off about the moves that they're making right now, and they're trying to win. We trying to follow the script, but it's just it seems like now that we've gone off the script or whatnot, a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people are like, man, we were supposed to take Turner. But it's like, all right, you've taken that, but now
Yeah.
y'all want to say Terry needs to go because we've heard this in
Whoa,
many
that what's
places.
going
Oh,
on?
oh yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
that
Yeah.
went,
yeah,
yeah.
I
That's
know.
that's been a lot of that going on, bro.
Yeah.
Even
Yeah.
on because here's the thing: if you ever heard the show "Moving the Chains" on Sirius Satellite Radio, I was on there
Uh,
the other day and I spoke to um Kirk Morrison on the
mm,
show about about patience and things like that. But most Falcon fans, and it's a few of us that was like, man, we were fine with the pick. A lot
okay.
of them have been grinding up our front office for the moves that they made, but they addressed it. They addressed needs. How do you
I'm
feel
saying,
about the fan base right now?
hey, I'm standing on it. I mean, the thing. All right. To begin with, let me start here. As far as like the whole thing about the draft, do we got to remember we only took 3 offensive positions out of 8 picks. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so we still hit the defensive line. We still 5 of our picks were defense, and I mean overall, as a collection, I do like the picks. I do feel like
Mm-hmm.
that Aurora was a reach only because we had to give up a pick in the top 150 in order to get him. And I can understand, Clemson coach is going to be like, oh, I'm not surprised that the Falcons moved up. I mean, I'm kind of not surprised that you said that. But, overall, I enjoyed the draft. I was kind of crazy about the Penix pick at first, but then my wheels had to start turning again. And I realized exactly what they're doing. The Falcons are not going to be in a situation to where they're drafting a quarterback in a couple of years. That's from a confidence standpoint. That's what the front office is trying to say. I mean, and you want that. You want to hear your front office say and your brass say, hey, we're not going to be in this predicament anymore. I said none in the near future. So let's go ahead and get this out the way. Get our quarterback now because we fell in love with the man. And I honestly, I like the moves, man. I like the moves. The only thing about it is I want to see them translate. I mean, they can look good on paper all day long, but
Mm-hmm.
regardless, we've had the Michael Vick experience, but this is
Hmm.
the Michael Penix experiment.
Ooh.
We have to really make sure that this works out. Because I said it on my channel, and I'll say it right here. This is a plan from Terry and from Raheem that must work. Just because
Mm-hmm.
you see all the chaos it is causing already, so it must work. And if it doesn't, if you have some slip ups, it's gonna be pink slips popping up, and we're gonna be right here. Saying all together as our fan base, as us as content creators, wishing whoever it is, saying well, and seeing who the next person is going to be coming in taking over their spot. That's just what it's going to boil down to. I'm for the moves. I'm also for waiting out the process to try to see how this is going to go, how much success we're going to have as an organization. I'm optimistic, but it has to work.
But here's the thing. Chris, here's the thing, bro. Like when you look at it, it's just like any other job, podcast, like you were saying, there's always gonna be somebody coming in to try to take your spot. There's always somebody that's gonna try to take your spot. And when you stand, and the thing is, if you are a competitor, you're not gonna sit here and walk away from that competition. You're gonna welcome it. And when you welcome that competition, you let them know from the start. I'm pretty much the Don Dada. I'm the alpha. I'm the omega, and you got to knock me off my perch. And my thing is, you damn sure ain't finna knock me off my perch right off the bat, because the day that you think you're gonna knock me off my perch, I'm gonna knock your jock strap loose. So understand, when you sit back and you pay attention to this, it's at that point where now you have two alpha quarterbacks. Now, Cousins, okay, this is your team. We already know that Penix is the future. We know this.
Right.
So he hadn't said anything. It was his representation that spoke, not him. It was his representation that spoke.
Right.
Matter of fact, Cousins actually reached out to Penix. So it was, and it was like, because here's the thing, he could have been like Joe Flacco, the hell with you. I'm not gonna reach out to you because.
But let's just be honest. We know
because of how the move was pulled. That's why his representation was mad. But him being a professional, that already shows like, all right, I'm not mad at Cousins, because guess what? You could have been a jerk about the whole thing. He wasn't.
Right.
He handled it with class. And he's letting them know, like, okay, I know he's the future, but guess what? He gonna have to sit for a minute because I'm here. That's pretty much how that's gonna be. But I'll say this, and then we're gonna move on to the next topic. With Kirk Cousins at this point, he's our quarterback right now.
Mm-hmm.
I want him to ball out. Quarterback competition has been lacking in Atlanta. We've not had a quarterback competition in the room. We have that now. And now every time something happens, the microscope is going to be on those two. And here's the thing. There's no different than what happened when Joe Montana was there. I'm not comparing Kirk Cousins to Joe Montana.
No,
I'm saying the situation, because you brought in a Steve Young that sat behind him and was chomping at the bit to get there. Then you had your Jordan Love. Yeah, you got to wait your turn. It's just what it is. And at this point, Penix is going to learn the playbook. Penix is going to get familiar with the personnel. He's going to get familiar with everything. So when he steps into the forum, he's not going to be unfamiliar with anything, because he'll already know how to handle it, because he's got somebody in front of him showing him by actions.
And one thing I want to add to that, as far as like the thing with Penix too, as far as the fan base, people are looking at that age, people are looking at that age, the fact that he's already 24, and his best case scenario without injuries, his best case scenario is 26 being the starting quarterback. Worst case scenario, he's 28 going on 29 possibly.
Golly, you think gonna sit that long?
If Cousins stay healthy and he plays well, they're not gonna trade him away.
That's what I'm saying. And you got to understand this too, fellas. Everybody's doing all this comparisons to the Jordan Love and the Jordan Love situation with Aaron Rodgers and everything. That's what everybody's comparing it to. But at the same time, if Kirk Cousins does perform at that high level, MVP type caliber, you're not going to move away from him. If he's taking you to consistent playoff wins, playoff appearances, touchdown interception ratio is good, leading the team, leading the locker room, regardless, you're not just going to move on from that. And you don't want to be in a situation to where 3 years down the road, you're looking at it like, dang, are we going to have to restructure him? You don't want to be in that situation. And that's another thing that some fans are worried about, because, just having a little side conversations. I've been wearing Falcon shirts, as I have on one now. And, everybody's talking, because that's the talk of the town right now. If you go into Google and just type in Michael Penix and go to the video section, good God.
Man,
Well,
ridiculous, man.
well,
Like seriously.
Hey,
well,
look,
we
man.
know,
Hey,
but
look.
here's the thing: we already know we'll be on this topic all day, so we got to
Right.
move on, fellas.
All right, let's go.
So next topic that we have right now, we've got 4 defensive linemen that were taken in this draft. Now, one of the issues that I spoke on was we needed better depth at D-line. We were good, but we needed more depth because
Right.
a lot of guys got hurt. Grady was a main guy that got hurt. And then outside of Grady getting hurt, Taquan Graham was back and forth. David Onyemata got hurt. And you have to think about it. Calais Campbell was holding everything down and holding everything together at that point. So when you look at it, I get why they grabbed those young bucks or whatnot, because they're going to be cheap for number one, rookie deals. Outside of being cheap, you're having guys that are already here, that are already established or whatnot, that can actually we can have a steady flow rotation. I said the best two examples I can say with defensive line, and I talk about rotations. I said the Philadelphia Eagles are one because they have a ton of D linemen and they rotate like crazy. The second, and as much as I hate to say it, I despise them stinking bagheads. But the one thing that they do well, and I hate New Orleans still to this day. And my auntie that's watching, I see you in the chat. Your Saints suck. Yeah, I'm talking trash to my family tonight. I'm choosing violence tonight, people. So I'm letting you know what mode I'm in tonight. I'm the bad guy like Reza Ramon. So I'm in there. So I'm letting you know now. The Saints have one of the best defensive line rotations. It doesn't matter who they get. And it's been like this even after Terry left. They have a formula to where they find guys from different places and they rotate. Look at what Terry got. Ruka Roro was a reach at that position. I think we could, instead of trading up, I think we still could have gotten him, but I didn't want to trade up for him. But if I got to compare him,
right,
Chris, if I got to compare him, and fellas, if I got to compare him, I'm going to give you this. Ruka Roro is another John Randall. Go back and look at the legendary John Randall, undersized D lineman that was like the Energizer Bunny. And I'm not even a Ruka Roro fan like that. But look at his game. Look at his game,
bro.
Think about it. John Randall
it's
played
funny
at
that you say that because
John Randall?
When I see his movements,
it's exactly like
exactly who you think of. That is who you think of. Even though he's a raw player, his movements. You just gotta look at his body movements. We're not saying he will be or is John Randall, but I feel what you're saying about that. Because when you said it, it just clicked just like that. And I was like, you know what?
Hey, look.
In his movements and his tape, he does kind of move like he is a John Randall. But
he moves at an angle. He doesn't move straight up.
Let's set the bar high. Go ahead and say, look, we got a John Randall there. Prototype.
And here's the thing. I'm gonna show, like I said, I'm pulling this out. I'm pulling this up for y'all. I'm pulling up Ruka Roro's footage right now, and then I'm gonna pull up John Randall's footage for you guys too.
I ain't gonna lie though. I did want Newton though. Newton was right there. If we was gonna draft up, trade up. But you understand? Look at this. Yeah, man.
He got a mold. I love his mold.
Yeah, he does. And he didn't even start playing until his junior year in high school. Junior year in high school.
All I'm saying is this: when you see him underneath, you see how slick he is. You see how he hits the gap, and you see how he makes things happen. That is the difference with this gentleman here. So now I'm getting ready to play John Randall's highlights for you. So now you've seen Root. Here's John Randall right here. Undersized 6 foot defensive lineman, and definitely was a monster during his day.
Fair use.
So here you go. I'm gonna go ahead and bring this up for you guys.
Right here with the original cracker.
Come here.
If you see how he gets underneath those defensive linemen's pads, and he comes right there. That is what Ruka Roro does very well. He gets underneath your pads, and you can't do anything about it.
Boy, that's when football was football.
And he had the trash talk. Let's go.
The difference is now. Here's the thing. Now, the reason he trash talked, like he said in his documentary a long time ago, he said the reason I trash talked was because he said I was motivating myself because I was a guy that was pretty much a late guy who didn't get an opportunity because they were going to cut him. He was literally, he couldn't even get up to 300 pounds, and he had to buy a chain from a hardware store, and he put it up under him to stand on the scale so he could just make the cut in Minneapolis. And from that point on, he was a monster. So he was one of the first undersized defensive linemen that made it possible for a Grady Jarrett and a Ruka Roro to have an opportunity. So if you look at this guy, all I can say is Rook really does remind you a little bit of a John Randall. Now,
in this movement, you can see it.
Now we got Trice. Now I'm gonna give you this. Now we got Trice coming in. Trice, I would say if I got to compare him to somebody, I got to go legendary again. He's a mix in between Cornelius Bennett, the legendary defensive end who played for us in the Bills, and he also plays a little bit like Julius Peppers. Very handsy, will extend you out, get around you, use his speed to get around the edge and actually wreak havoc. That is a guy that I feel like we stole. 81 quarterback pressures last year. 81. And everybody wants to talk about Dallas Turner.
You went and got a Jimmy Lake guy.
That's what I'm saying. Jimmy Lake, like
that's pretty much all you did.
Jimmy Lake wasn't, but here's the thing. Jimmy Lake wasn't there when this kid was there. He came after Jimmy Lake.
He probably helped recruit him.
Yeah.
No, Jimmy Lake was fired before that kid was even recrured. He was fired before he was recruited.
Yeah, when he said that,
this is a whole nother coaching staff that did that or whatnot. But that's not a Jimmy Lake guy.
But
now, if we'd have went corner or safety, his secondary guys were there when he was there.
Yeah, right.
But at defensive end Trice, he came the year after Jimmy Lake was gone. He wasn't one of those recruits for Jimmy.
But what I'm saying is, where have Jimmy Lake?
That's my typo.
And Raheem been at? They've been on the West Coast, so they've seen a lot of Trice out there.
Yeah, they've been on the West Coast. You were saying, but you just said that he was one of his recruits. Like, no, he wasn't. That's what I was getting.
Okay. Hey, look, I'm sorry. I had that.
No. It's fine. Because here's the thing.
I'm about to say, shoot, I thought it was there too.
The jet, but think about it. Like you called it because you said the tea leaves. They sent the jet over to Washington 2 times. You were the first person to say that on the show. You said it. You said y'all need to watch the tea leaves. They going over to Washington twice.
Yeah, man, they've been on the West Coast. They went out there to check them out. But I'm saying they have familiarity with the West Coast. I believe every year they're going to be drafting off the West Coast because that's where they were at before they came back here.
I like that.
Well, here's the thing. Raheem has a good relationship with Kirby Smart. So now we didn't have I guarantee you this. If Jalen Carter would have been there this year, I guarantee you they would have given up the house to get Jalen. I promise you with Raheem Morris. No, because you look at what they grabbed out there in the West Coast. He would have tried to make Jalen an Aaron Donald.
I'm not saying he won't draft.
Possibly.
No, the highest paid coach in college football.
Yeah, $130 million.
Shout out to Kirby for getting that extension today.
Shout out to my boy Kirby.
10 years?
13 mil a year.
I think what they gonna do.
That man need. Hey, watch, he finna go get us another natty now.
Hey, yeah, look,
y'all done gave him that money.
I think what we'll do is we'll draft one Georgia player every year to draft. Hopefully, it ain't late, but we'll draft us one. Georgia player.
I like Zion.
Yeah, I was gonna say Zion
Lowe, and he
we all said we like Zion Lowe, bro. We said this on draft day.
But what I'm saying is the philosophy will be, man, just draft one goddamn Georgia. I ain't saying it got to be late. I'm just saying, but I think that's what our philosophy gonna be from now on. Just to shout out.
I would have took Edwick over.
Check this though, y'all. Did y'all see, like, as far as like our defensive linemen go? Do y'all see like a trait that was going on?
Yep.
You got two. If you look at the body structures and the body type, you have a Grady Jarrett body size and John Randall body size with a Roro. Trice is going to be your big body edge rusher. Like I said, your Cornelius Bennett, your long edge rusher that's got size that can bend. Then you want to talk about Dorless. Dorless is your Julius Peppers. Dorless is the anomaly out of the bunch.
That's the guy that I was on. I know my brother Berto was on him since February. I was on him since March. I was so happy when I seen him get drafted. I said, heck yeah.
Jig
Now
ass
watch this.
Dion.
especially after we had just got Trice. So it's just like
But
also.
prior to
Okay.
all of that,
Go
me
ahead.
in our group chat, I told everyone if you look at how we draft, it'll tell you exactly how our rotation is going to be. We're looking at a 6 to 9 man rotation easily because they're constantly going to be coming on and off the field. With
And they gonna
the
be
one
coming.
they're going to
I
be
mean,
coming
comment,
quick and steady. It's going to be quick and
comment.
steady movement, and you're not going to be able to breathe. And that's the one thing that I said last before the draft even happened. I said with the 3-4 defense, you're going to have quick rotations, and the guys that we currently have, those guys fit because you can have someone like a Zach Harrison on one side, Aurora on another, and you can have David Onyemata in the middle, or you can even put Dorless in the middle. It's so many ways that you can play with this lineup right now. And then
Dorless
Mm-hmm.
can play
you can
anywhere.
have Trice on and you can have Trice on another side with
Harrison,
what's this with
Troy Anderson.
Troy
Zach
Anderson.
Harrison.
Troy
What
Anderson.
Troy
So
Anderson just need to move around everywhere. He just need to be bouncing around.
it's so amazing when you because I'm a defensive guy and I love defense. But if you look at how this is set up perfectly for the one person that none of us are truly speaking on, and he was the biggest acquisition for us last season, which is Jesse Bates.
Jesse Bates.
Yep.
Because
Back
Jesse is
kid.
actually going to be able to roll. He's not going to have to play down so much. He's going to be able to do what he's supposed to do, ball hawk and hit people. Because
Right.
the front seven is going to be built around all of that and the way that our rotation is. And I know how Jimmy Lake is. He likes to bring pressure from the left side. So
We gotta
you're
get
going
rid
to
of
have you're
But
going
we
to have
got
to
to get rid of
Richie.
Richie Grant still. That's the problem.
Yeah, we
But
Put him
definitely
in the
gotta do
box.
that.
We
Hey
got to get
guys,
rid of Richie
Coach,
Grant. We don't
Put
have
but
him in
anybody.
another
the box.
point about
but
that
coach,
defensive, that front seven too, though, about Dorless, you can
Put him
put
in the
him
box.
anywhere. You can put him anywhere. The man
Mm-hmm.
played 44% on edge, 43% on defensive tackle, and 13% on nose tackle.
Yep.
So I'm just saying,
So
like the man is versatile all along the line. And another thing that you guys got to remember is the philosophy the Falcons are staying with: long arm defenders.
yep.
At least 33 inches on the arms. That's what, if you just look at our draft picks, everybody got long arms. Everybody gonna stretch out and go grab, gonna get them.
Yep.
And they're not bad tacklers. If you look at all of them, they all are pretty good in tackle.
But
Something that you're gonna need
do you
in an
understand now?
offensive driven
I
league.
want you to answer this. Do you understand what you just said?
Hey
Do you
man,
understand
it's a
what you just
philosophy.
said? What do you
Tackle.
understand why? Do you understand why? Why we get guys with long arms?
Oh yeah, man, you got to get after the quarterback. You got to get them down,
No,
and you got to also.
Tackle.
Now,
it's
no, I
not
mean,
just
no,
that.
just not
They trying to keep
tackling
them 300-pound offensive line off them boys,
off
and
them.
they got
Yeah.
a quick first step. Because
And
think about it.
they handsy type guys. If you look at them all too,
Exactly.
they handsy type guys. So they pushing the line. They trying to get under them pads.
Yeah,
So
Troy
hey
Anderson did
man,
get bigger.
I'm loving it.
Troy
I'm
Anderson
loving it,
definitely
man. We
got
just got to
bigger.
look
And
at it. You
what's
got to look
scary?
at it from more than one angle, more than one perspective. And I know everybody looking at it from the surface. And let's just be honest, social media is not being our friend right now. No
Oh,
matter
hell
if you're
no.
looking at a video, a post, or whatnot, you
Hell
have
no.
so much that's trying to influence the Falcon faithful to really dislike this pick, to really dislike the direction the organization is trying to go. People saying, "Oh, they're more interested in not sucking and not to suck or whatever bruh said, than trying to be, saying great." And I understand what you're trying to say because we're trying to be win now, and we are a win now team. But I'm
Well,
just saying, you still think that defensive line moves to try to go get the quarterback. You don't think those are win now moves? You don't
now
think
here's the
that
thing.
having a succession plan in place, something that you didn't have when the great Matty Ice had left us? I mean,
Well,
and then I'm just saying you didn't have one. You swung for the fences and you missed, and then you lost Matt Ryan in the same time. That's just like having your wife, and the next thing you know, you got your side piece. You lost your side piece, and you lost your wife.
we all know
Next
some
thing you
folks who
know,
on that train.
next thing you know, you're going through life
Riding
for the
that
next
beat.
3 years, trying to figure out just in and out of relationships, trying to figure it out. Everybody suck. Now you trying to now we back at Kirk Cousins, somebody who who's supposed to be a good person, but they got flaws too. So it's just, man, you just working on it, man. That's all you doing. You just working on it, and you just trying to get it better because it was terrible. You
Well,
you shot
let's
this
go
game
ahead and get
terrible.
this a little bit better because we'll be on this all day too because we got a couple of
Right.
topics we got to roll through.
Let's do it.
So next we took one linebacker and JD Bertrand. He ended up being a guy that led the team 3 times in tackles.
Yeah.
Solid pick, a guy that literally has flown under the radar. And I feel like he's gonna be a steal for that linebacker room. And now you have Troy Anderson who can have the freedom to do what he wants to do, but you have somebody who is a linebacker who's been playing this position for more than 3 years. So and he's a local kid out of Alpharetta, Alpharetta guy, and you're bringing the kid home. One thing that Terry and everybody is stressed, and I'm gonna let Graybeard jump on this one. You're bringing a hometown guy back who went to Notre Dame, who was pretty much first team defense in the ACC, pretty much, and you got a guy that led his team with tackles 3 times. What does that say about him? Because even though he's a little bit bigger, I see a lot of London Fletcher traits with this guy. And if anybody knows who London Fletcher is, that was a guy who played for 15 years and he could find the football. And he was an undrafted guy. He was an undrafted free agent by if anybody doesn't know.
Yeah.
But if you don't know about London Fletcher, go look him up.
Watch play.
Yep.
That man used to get after it.
Graybeard, what you think?
I mean, I like the pick, man. I thought it was a solid pick because I watched a few Notre Dame games, and one thing about him, he's always around the football. Sure tackler. I mean, that's the one thing I liked about him. If he grabs you, you going down to the ground. So I thought Terry Fontenot and the coaching staff was looking at, hey, we need to bring people in here that already got the fundamental down packed, but we need to also see who can who fit the defense, and I think he fit the defense very well.
Right.
I mean, I don't think he's gonna be much of a cover type of linebacker because I don't think he has the speed to keep up with him. But come out in the box, come out of that can get around the edge a little bit. He'll be your guy, and on top of that, he's a hometown kid.
Yep.
Who doesn't like the hometown kid coming home playing for the home team, just like with AJ Terrell.
He was so excited too.
So,
I don't know if y'all seen the tweet. He was so excited. He said, "Staying home." Yeah, so you already know he's going to bring it every play. So every game that he's able to run out there on the field, he's going to give it his all because he know. I mean, we all would love to play for the Falcons. You know what I'm saying? One shape or form. So it's just like, man, to have that, to be a hometown kid and to still be able to play for your hometown team, man, that's just crazy dreams, man. It's crazy dreams. He's going to benefit behind this line that we just was covering too. He's going to benefit behind that. And he studies the tape of Luke Kuechly. That's some good tape to study, I think.
You ain't lying.
And he talks to the man as well. So that's a good person to talk to. If you ask me, having to face him twice a year,
So hold up. Now I'm gonna go ahead and stop this right now. Now look, I told you we got topics to go. You stepping on my toes right now.
Oh man,
I love you, but we gotta roll through because we got some footage we need you to help us break down.
Oh shoot, man, I ain't know.
Man, I told you we got some stuff to break down, dog.
We got some stuff to do there.
That's why I'm passing topics to everybody else.
Right, give me a second real quick. So, Gravy, you say he's going to be a liability in coverage, right?
I'm not saying he's going to be a liability in coverage. I'm just saying he's not as fast. I never said he's going to be he's not a liability.
No, he doesn't need to. He doesn't need to be fast. He's a sideline linebacker. He doesn't need to be fast. He just needs to be able to get to the spot before the receiver does, and he's very good at that. Because if you watch his tape at Notre Dame, the kid has a lot of pass deflections. Why? Because he understands how to read routes and he knows how to get to his position before the receiver gets there. With his body, and you have a guy like Landman, Ellis, you have Trice now. So you can even bring, and I really hate to say this. You can even bring Richie Grant down to the box to assist with that.
All right,
But-
now we switching topics. No, you're done. You're done. You f that
Let's
up.
be
No,
real.
no,
Let's be real about it. Let's be
no,
real
no,
about
hell
it.
no. No, next
Richie,
topic.
no. Richie
Next
Grant
topic,
is
because you just messed
Richie
that up.
Grant.
No.
No. Richie Grant is great in run support, but he can't cover. He can't cover anything.
No, stop the presses. Stop the damn press. Hold up.
I'm a.
Before
Hey,
I move on,
I'm
no.
unbiased, and you
No,
know
now
I hate
I
Richie
got it.
Grant.
Now
You
I'm
know I
choosing
hate
violence.
Richie.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
You
Hold
know I
up.
hate
Let me get the background right for this, dog.
Throw
Because
the
you ain't
damn
got
the
me
white
towel.
started up.
flag,
Hold
man.
up.
Throw the
Hell no.
damn towel. Throw the damn
I'm going
towel.
into my moment of
Oh,
Razor. I'm actually getting ready to be the bad guy, just like my man Razor. So I'm gonna check you right now, Chico. I'm gonna tell you just like this right here.
Lord have mercy.
Richie Grant couldn't tackle if you gave him a pillow and just put it in front of him. Richie Grant misses more tackles than he makes. This is why he's got to go. He's a horrible safety, a horrible tackler. He does not know how to take angles. Now, normally I keep my cool, but you just literally put me in that stage when you said that.
They don't make my
Same way
man
you
mad.
feel about Desmond Ritter, I feel about Richie Grant.
Don't say that
I'm
man's
going to
name,
let
bro.
you know. Oh no, I'm choosing violence tonight. I'm
Don't
telling
say
you, I'm
that
choosing
man's name.
violence tonight. Now look, now you about to catch one because you brought up Richie Grant. Grant is awful.
I'm talking about
Grant is awful.
he was on
Yo.
point. He had me, man. I was like, yeah. Then you gon'
Here's the thing. We've been saying this since he started, bro.
Let me explain.
We've been saying Richie
we
Grant.
trying to get rid of this man, and you won't buy in.
Everybody laughed at me when I said this. Hold up. Bell was the best safety that was available as an undrafted free agent, and I called it. And we passed on him, and Dallas got it, and we were stuck with this cat. This dude was awful, and he still is awful. DeMarco
combo.
is about to steal his job.
That man couldn't cover his foot in the microwave. Talking about trying to cover a player.
Hear me out, Chris. I had him gone a long time ago. I still say that he was the Jalen Hawkins was the wrong safety that we released. I'm not a fan of Richie Grant,
Michael.
but if you look at his splits within 5 to 7 yards when covering the run, he was one of the best tackles on the team. Now, if you do anything outside of that in the open field, if you look at him in the open field,
you want me to pull up film? Cam, you want me to pull up film? Because we do this every dog. We do this every Sunday, big dog. And you know that Richie Grant misses more tackles than he makes. You know
in the open
even in the open field, he misses more tackles.
Within 5 to 7 yards from the line of scrimmage, he was one of the best tackles, bro.
Okay, no, he's not. Here's the thing: we're gonna respectfully disagree because guess what? You wrong his 2 left shoes, and right now you is as crooked as Donald Trump's damn tax return. That's how crooked you are right now with that one.
Hey, Coach Raheem is backing. Just throwing this out there. We're gonna move to the next. He's backing Richie Grant. He said that he thought poorly of him when he's in LA, but he's got to Atlanta and seen him up close. He said he kind of likes him. I'm just saying. Next
I mean, he said it.
Here's the thing. Wait a minute. I'm gonna say this. Hold up. I'm gonna say this.
I thought I was bad.
Hell no. If Jerry Gray, the legendary defensive back coach, could not do anything with this joker, what the hell make you think Raheem Morris is? And Jerry Gray is a better
I'm just saying
defensive back coach than Raheem Morris. And I stand on that. I stand on that. Next topic. Y'all got me over here fired up in here, man.
Y'all got Richie Grant out there doing that Drake dance out there on the tackles. That guy, I'm tired of that. The thing about it is, I know why we gonna keep him. It ain't because he like him. It's because he's cheap. Richie Grant.
I don't give a damn if he's cheap. He got to go.
I'm with you. I promise you, Razor. I'm with you.
I'm
with you, right?
So let's do this thing.
Chico.
Hey man, y'all have made me bring out the Razor Ramon tonight, so I'm definitely the bad guy. I don't mind being the bad guy, Good.
I'm about to
And
go
Think
yo,
get
about
the
it.
toothpicks and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I got some in the crib. It ain't nothing to me. Bad times, listen, bad times don't last all the time, but bad guys do. And I'm the bad guy tonight. And I don't mind. Chico. So
Do
next,
do
we
do
got
not
Casey
ever bring
Washington.
him up again, please.
If you bring him up, he need to be rolled up out of the city. I'm sorry. That's the next time. But Casey Washington is on the board, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank
Now,
you.
we have a gentleman who runs 4-4-4-3 at wide receiver. Wasn't targeted that much. He's a let's put it this way. He was used as a possession receiver at Illinois.
Right.
And as a possession receiver, he definitely was able to get separation. And when you look at him, he was one of those guys that could really be nasty. And I've said long time ago, you got to get somebody who's going to be able to catch the football. He's got sure hands, and I understand why they ended up bringing him in, because you have to have somebody with sure hands. Now, what I'm going to do for you guys is I'm going to bring up some of his footage for you guys tonight so you guys can see his hands, because they only gave a sample size during the draft.
Right. They did.
So with you giving a sample size in the draft or whatnot, it's just one of those things where you're not going to see this cat like that. But this dude here is one of the slept on receivers. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not the biggest Illinois fan like that, but I watch a lot of college football as well. But he is definitely a guy you want to check out. Numbers aren't that impressive, but the impact
Fair
is.
use, fair use, fair use.
Fair use.
Hey, you seen that? You seen that right there?
That's a tough catch. Tough catches.
Looks like they
And
are.
the kid that's
But
throwing
even
to
the
him
way that he
is one
got
of our
off the
Gray in
undrafted
the
free
backfield.
agents. Jake
It's
Pat-
Altmaier
Jake
on
Patta.
fourth down, heaving it down the sideline on a hand fighting. Catch is made. Casey Washington.
Strong hands.
Aiden Fagan comes in and running
Strong
back.
hands.
Altmaier sets up the screen underneath and the ball caught.
Ooh.
Washington breaks it
Shifty.
down the field.
Shifty little guy.
To his right, couple of receivers either way. Throw left.
Huh.
Washington with a catch across the.
Not afraid to go across the middle.
Struggle last
And then the
week
thing is,
for
you're
you on
talking about
third
good
down.
speed from that guy too.
Not afraid to go across this middle. I can see that.
Yeah,
Well,
I
the
see him
rules
going.
cater to that anyway now, because guys aren't afraid to, you know what I'm saying? They're not
Right,
afraid
right.
to get hit.
Converting third down.
That's true too.
But he definitely is a monster.
Goes to the air. They pick up a first down.
Oh, he liked
Casey
that route.
Washington, this anybody's side of the
That's his
bracket of the
route.
West. Altmaier back to
Shoot,
pass
that's the
to
route they were having him run.
Reversal
Yeah.
and catch made by Casey Washington.
All right.
Good back
So I just wanted to make sure, and the kid that was throwing to him, so I might not have to bring up I'm not gonna have to bring up his highlights, because you actually got to see his quarterback just now. That was Jake Paddock who was throwing him the ball. And if you pay attention to Jake Paddock, Jake has a lot of Brock Purdy type traits. So you got to see some of that when he was putting the ball on Washington. Now, Washington isn't the only receiver that he used, but he's a guy that's coming in as an undrafted free agent with Washington. Washington got drafted. His quarterback is an undrafted free agent. So there's familiarity there. So he's definitely a solid piece. When we get rid of Taylor Heineke and get him up off this contract, we got another guy that's gonna sit in that room, and he's a guy that I would trust because the ball placement is good. He definitely can throw, and it's just one of those things.
But did y'all see what he did against Washington though?
Slow up for me. I wouldn't say he's a slower lad McConkey, because he runs a 4.4, 4.3. He's a fast guy, just like Lad. The difference is he didn't play in an offense that was catered towards running backs where the receivers had to block real heavy either.
Yeah, I didn't see no Lad here. I seen a lot of Lad. I don't see no Lad in him. Lad got a lot of wiggle.
Yeah, Lad got a lot of wiggle.
Lad got a lot of wiggle, and he can get. I didn't see no breakaway speed on this guy. Lad can break away and take it to the house.
Yeah, I would say he's got good speed, but he's not. Yeah, Lad is a different kind of cat.
Lad can wiggle.
Nah, facts.
Lad is a different kind of cat.
And he got good.
But here's the
feet.
thing.
Lad had to bust his behind to get where he was at too. So
Here's
I'm
the
not
one
saying
thing-
that Casey hasn't. I'm just saying.
Here's the
let's
one
go.
thing between Ladd and Washington. Washington gets off of the line way faster than Ladd does. He
No, I mean,
beats the
it-
press a lot
I
easier.
can't. Here's the thing. I can't agree with you on that, because if you go back to the Senior Bowl and you go back to some of the defensive backs that were drafted in the first round, a lot of the guys that came off that 2021 defense, they all said Ladd is the hardest guy to cover. And then you had some guys from Alabama that said, I'm glad I don't have to see him every day in practice. Ladd is that dangerous when he's
Yeah,
healthy.
yeah.
No, I'm not saying
Very
he's not.
good.
I'm not saying he's not. But if you look at just now from the highlights, he was being pressed on almost every play, and he was beating the press off the first step off the line, which is something that a lot of receivers aren't able to do today in the current league that we're watching. It's only a handful of guys that beat the press off their first step. And Washington did that in every one of those receptions we just watched. They pressed him every one, and he beat them inside every time.
That's the
No,
first thing I had
that
noticed
may
too, though, because
And
that's
he's
why I
got
was like,
he's
"Ooh,
got
you
a
see
hell
how
of a
he got
first
off the
step.
corner."
No, that may be something he does better than Ladd, but Ladd is one of them guys. Once he gets out in the open field, like say you on the 30, he can break a tackle and take it to the house. I didn't see that in this guy's highlights.
Nah,
Yeah, that's the only
Lad
thing
got that
different.
football
Yeah,
speed.
that's why we said
Yeah.
Ladd is a different animal
He
because
get on that field.
here's the thing. Once he get in space, Ladd is hard
You're
to
not
get
getting
hands
them.
on.
You're not
Nah,
getting them. The
Now,
nah, his
only
Casey
thing that
footwork
I seen
Washington,
ridiculous.
different was getting
Casey
off the
Washington is a
press.
possession receiver with solid straight line speed.
Yeah,
As we said before, he's going to be that guy that's going to run slant routes with safeties and linebackers lurking. He's going to be a guy that's actually going to be a little bit different. Shout out to Larry
Right.
Dixon, my boy.
yeah,
Larry.
yeah, yeah.
Way,
Dick and
Larry.
Way.
Always check out his
Larry.
content. You know, I'm a fan of it. You
Larry,
should be
one
too.
time.
One of the greatest commentators on YouTube. We need to get him we need to get Bally Sports to hire this man if they can finally get their money right. But I ain't gonna talk
Man,
to the man.
I was just
No,
about
they
to say they don't.
bankrupt. They bankrupt.
I about to say they
That's why I
can't
said
pay
if they get
Larry
their money
enough,
right.
man.
You heard how I said that.
Look,
They
hey,
can't
look,
pay
they
him
took,
enough,
hey,
man.
look, I'm talking bad. Valley Sports been taking off my Xfinity. They just took it off. They said they didn't pay their money. I'm mad. I can't even watch the Braves, the Hawks, or nothing right now.
Now, how the heck that do most of us probably? I know where you at, Ryan, but I'm just saying
YouTube.
I live in Atlanta. I can't even watch my Atlanta team.
YouTube.
That's crazy, man.
Make it make sense, people.
I gotta watch it on
This is
YouTube.
what you miss about having TBS a long time ago back in the day.
Facts.
This is what you miss about that because hell, we knew
Thanks,
what the
Ted.
deal was with Ted Turner back in the day. Ted had the Hawks and had the Braves on at all times, and sometimes showed the Falcons.
Shoot, then he just
Them
let
Braves
it all-
stayed on TBS.
Hey
Braves
man,
stayed.
TV 17,
Hell.
boy, everybody remember that.
Yes, sir.
Everybody remembers that. And now let's get to the last guy that we're gonna talk about in this right here.
I was surprised about that.
Patterson's replacement.
Basement
Dog. This boy's a dog.
Bill Patterson's replacement. He wasn't the greatest college running back, but he's an NFL caliber running back. There are guys who aren't good in college, but they're NFL material. Like I'll say that Kendall Milton dealt with a lot of injuries with this. But Kendall Milton is an NFL running back, not a college guy. Oh,
Somebody at the door.
Oh,
hey man,
Hold
I ain't put up the
man.
food. Listen, I ain't put up the food yet. Hey Larry, I ain't put up the food yet. You see, we got the spread out here, baby. We got the chicken, the collard greens, yams, everything out here, man. So get you a plate and pull up.
Hey, man, I'm great.
You gonna have to make some more iced tea, cause I don't drunk it all, bro. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
you damn
No,
sure
you
did.
didn't. I got a whole cooler full of it. What you mean?
Oh, there you
No,
go.
I ain't really
I
no iced
got
tea.
like about 8 gallons
really
in
ain't like
an
that.
8-gallon cooler, man. We got this.
Hey,
I had
get
to
that.
drink something other than water today.
Hey man, we got the Kool-Aid in the
Water.
fridge too.
I've been
Red,
drinking
hold
water
on.
all
We
day.
got grape and red in the
Bro.
fridge.
You got grape and red? Okay, I got you. I got
Hey
you.
man,
What's
we gotta
going on,
have a little
fellas?
bit of fun. So
Yes, sir.
before we get to the next player, we're gonna talk about this guy, Jace McClellan, that's going to be Cordell Patterson's replacement. McClellan is a lot of people are mad because like, oh man, we got this Alabama runner, we passed on him. Jace McClellan is
That what they
I'll put it
saying?
this way. Jace McClellan is a solid running back. If you remember the last running back that Alabama had that struggled and that was so in their offense, that was a guy by the name of Mr. Brian Robinson, who's playing for the Washington Commanders right now. And
Right.
Brian Robinson is one of the top backs in the league.
Yes,
So
sir.
you have a guy that has NFL caliber talent. The problem was he just didn't fit that run scheme that they had. We all saw how he torched our dogs in the Darren SEC championship game. I hate to say it, but he did.
That Bill O'Brien.
Yeah. It's a big thing about it. And he was a Bill O'Brien recruit, by the way. So if Bill O'Brien recruits a kid, he's in the NFL again now. But he was going after NFL caliber talent or guys that had an opportunity to possibly be that. Jace McClellan is going to be Cordell Patterson's replacement. Now, Carlos Washington, I really want Shawty Lowe to get a chance this year, but from what I'm seeing, they're just gonna keep him on the practice squad.
Yeah,
Larry, I'm a pass the plate. I'm gonna pass this plate of fried chicken to you, my boy. I want you to talk about this here. What do you expect from Jace McClellan, and how do you feel that this brother brings a steady third down, pretty much a steady third running back to this already running back room that mainly Tyler Algier is the alpha dog in there, and you got Bijan that's trying to become that guy or whatnot, and now you're bringing in a Jace McClellan. What do you think about this competition that's been brought in?
I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Anybody past the 5th round, I'm looking at special teams or rotational guys. We saw that we could barely get touches for CP last year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think McCullen's going to be any impact unless someone gets hurt. Just for the simple fact, we were searching and like looking under bushes for touches for CP. You know what I'm saying? So, okay. I mean, I like the kid at Alabama, but to be honest, I would have rather a safety there. I would have rather a corner there. You know what I'm saying? Hey, guys that we picked up right there, man. Anybody in the 5th round, I do like Zion that we got as a rotational guy now, but we are heavy at D tackle now, man. That's our best defensive spot right now. So again, you want to fill out your special teams, all right, that's cool. But I don't expect much, you know what I'm saying? I like the kid out of Alabama, but with Algiers or Bijan getting the majority of the touches, and with CP barely getting any touches until the end of the season. Remember, he wasn't getting anything. Even when he came back from the injury, he was just sitting on the sideline with his helmet. So again, I mean, I don't know how many touches he's actually going to get. Maybe a good practice squad, a good guy that our defense can go against, when we're up against a good running back. But I'm not sure what he can get. And I don't think Williams is long for this either.
Well, Larry, you also have to remember this too. Injuries happen. And we all know with the running back room that we have, we saw that in Arthur Smith's first year. We saw Williams go down. And then that's how we found out about Tyler Algier. And then you found out about Duke Huntley. And honestly, I hate to say it, but you always have to at least have 3 studs in that running back room. Got to. And they got him for the cheap. That's the best part. They got him for the cheap.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of just like Algiers. You see the talent, you get bang for your buck. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like he's not talented. What I'm saying is that if it's kind of the same thing when you think about Kirk or Penix. If everything goes well, those guys don't see the field. You know what I'm saying? So, but I mean, especially with the running back, especially when you got 2 dynamic running backs, he won't see the field. I want to see what he'll be able to do, sparing somebody and stuff like that. But I'm not going out and making touches for this kid and taking away 1 run from Algiers or 1 run from Bijan. I wouldn't do that.
But here's the problem. They took away from, but here's the problem. Last year, because Arthur Smith didn't figure this out. It's no disrespect to Bijan at all. And it's just what it is. Tyler Algier is that dude. I don't give a damn what nobody say. Tyler Algier has proved it 2 years straight. He did it. If you share carries and you break William Andrews' rookie record, Uncle Steve wanted to give me grief about it a long time ago. And I told him, I said, that's William Andrews 2.0. Nah, no, he ain't. I ain't going to say that. That's my favorite player. Well, Dewey McClain even came on the show and talked about a man who practiced against William Andrews. Dewey said, hands down, he said the closest thing I've seen to William Andrews since William retired. That was what Dewey McClain said. And remember, Dewey used to have to hit that man every day.
Right.
So all I'm saying is this. Bijan is a guy that I feel like once he figures out how he can be used running between the tackles or whatnot, I think what's going to open things up a little bit more for him in the passing game, because when you see him, he's had great runs, but he's also been solid. He's also been a main weapon in our passing game when it comes to passing to the flat, because he has the ability to make that first guy miss all the time.
Right.
Very rarely he got tackled one-on-one.
That is true. That is true. That is true.
And the only thing I want to see a little bit more of is us being able to use these guys a little bit better in the running game, because we got some of the best running backs in the league.
Yeah, I'll take our tandem against anybody, to be honest. I really
Like-
would. I would take our tandem against. I'll put up against any tandem in the league. So I mean, and that goes along with Detroit. So
Put us in the pistol.
Yeah,
Put us in the pistol.
Yeah. So for me, I look at it like I feel that Kirk is going to be most improved. I think Drake and Pitts are going to have 1,000-yard years this year.
I like that.
I think with a healthy Kirk Cousins, with the young buck pushing him, because he's gonna be spinning that thing out here. Please,
Oh yeah.
please believe it. And once everybody see it in training camp, like right now, you know what I'm saying, we're gonna show all the highlights of Kirk. We got to boost him back up. We got to boost his confidence up. That's why they, showing him throwing.
Oh, you know that.
With Mooney.
Of course.
And stuff like that.
The marketing for Kirk Cousins these next few weeks is going to be overbearing.
Yeah, no.
Now, Larry, now hold up.
Folks gonna be
So-
humbling. They
But
gonna
I'm
show
telling you,
everything Kirk doing.
While
Well,
I
I
was
got something
upset
for
at
y'all
the pick,
tonight, because we gotta get to this next
Oh, yeah.
portion of the show.
go ahead, my bad.
No, you good. You good. Larry, I'm gonna tell you like this. Listening to you break down the Falcons is like us listening to Anita Baker sing out of the phone book. You could just
I don't
do
know
it
about that.
naturally.
I don't know about that.
You slick with it, bro. You slick with it. I ain't, and I'm just being honest. You smooth with it. And I'm not
Everybody
saying
got
that
their
for all
flavor.
y'all that's out here now. Anita Baker can sing out of the phone book and put somebody to sleep. Larry is very talented at what he does as a commentator on his channel, the Dixon Way. Please like and subscribe that channel for my man.
You
Translates.
better.
Yes, it translates, because he's one of those guys that can just really break it down in a different light. We all bring a little something different to the table.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's the reason why we got the soul food platter behind us, man. Got to bring a little something different to the table. But while we bringing something different, we have lastly tonight, we're gonna talk about two guys that are undrafted free agents that we are spotlighting. One of the guys that I've been on heavy is a man by the name of Mr. Isaiah Wooden Sr. out of Southeastern Utah University. He started off at Kent State. They didn't use him right. And matter of fact, he actually is tuning into the show right now. So shout out to my guy Isaiah Wooden Sr. for looking at the channel tonight. We definitely
what's
are
up.
hoping that
Salute to you.
we are definitely pulling for you to make it to this Falcons team, because special teams is where you can get your foot in the door. You being an undrafted free agent, brother. We definitely are pulling for you. You already know what it is,
Come
man.
on down.
Yes,
Oh,
sir. So
We need you.
he's watching
Put a
us.
logo, baby.
Boy, that
Now I'm
logo.
getting
Hey,
ready
go out
to
there and
pull
give me
up
your
his
all.
footage for you. He runs a 4.3 40. If you look at him, I put it this way. If I'm gonna go old school for my old school Falcons, because he's not the biggest guy, I'm gonna go to Alfred Jenkins. That is the type of player he is.
Okay.
Now, if I'm gonna go new school, he plays like Steve Smith
Man,
from the
that's,
parent.
Okay.
But Uncle Dog.
Size, hands,
Uncle Dog.
speed, good
that's
feet, and
that's a
everything.
that's a good receiver now.
So now, this is Isaiah Wooden Sr.'s some of his highlights. Fair use, fair use, fair use.
Fair use.
Fair use.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice message.
I'm in red form. Know that they praying for him to stop. No foreign, I just did a cool tour in the lot. Entertaining the eyes. Know it hurt him to watch. Never heard of this watch, but I still got a cop. I just touched down, do a surprise party for cops. Back in the field, you know I'm smarter to plot. I ain't even checking the scoreboard. I stopped with the four. Double up on this world tour, then drop again. Why you looking for a block to spin? International blast, you can't box me in.
Yeah, like
Circle
that.
for the elites, you cannot be there. A lot of
Shifty.
funky position, yes, I gotta be him. If it's real, let it be known. You ain't gotta pretend. Long as we got respect, we ain't gotta be friends. You know I just
he
don't
gone.
sleep. My
he
body's
gone.
a trend. Maybe
Oh
that
yeah,
ain't
he
no
got
reason.
he got that getaway from
Calling again.
03 speed right there, and he also ran track too.
I keep balling. Baby, I'm standing on business. I'm flawless.
Nap,
Baby,
nap.
my diamonds
Oh, he
still
only
hit.
had
Night,
full
night.
speed on that.
Pick the
All right.
ball.
If
Night,
he's even,
night.
he's even. If he's even, he's even.
Yeah. They keep
I ain't seen
calling.
nobody even with it though.
I ain't seen nobody touch him.
Baby, I'm standing
Yeah,
on
I mean
business.
for real, for real.
Flawless. Baby,
I
my
ain't seen
diamonds
nobody
still
touch
hit.
him.
Like
Flawless.
on that screenplay,
And he can
you can
dance.
tell that 4.3 speed because anybody else, if you slow into that 2.5, you hit.
I ain't
Hey,
seen nobody touch the
he
man
wasn't
yet.
getting off the line though.
Like look at that, look at that, man. He's open. Like that's NFL open, man. 3 yards. Look at him. He's
It's
gone. Ain't
unfair.
nobody
It's
getting him.
unfair when you
He
look at
gone.
nigga.
I ain't seen nobody touch him yet.
Right,
Yeah, that's
right.
years.
It's been
It's
bedtime
real.
All
almost
right,
every
ladies and
play.
gentlemen,
You
He
can't
got
call
I ain't
that.
that
seen
is
nobody touch him.
Isaiah Wooden. That is Isaiah Wooden Senior.
he
And
got
you
Can't
That
can't
look
teach
teach
like
that.
that.
Hey,
That
You
look
can't
like
hey,
a
teach
he's
that.
an
Ryan.
undrafted free
no.
Ryan,
Hold
you
up
need
real
to
I ain't
quick.
sit
gonna
Give me a
in,
lie.
man.
Kendrill Hodge,
Give me a
you
second,
watch your
fellas.
back.
Bye bye.
You need to sit
I
in.
tell you. Bye
You
bye.
can't teach speed. You can't teach
You can't
No.
that.
teach that speed.
No, you can't.
Hey, look,
Yeah, Kendrill
that
Hodge.
kid right there got a burst like some old cheetah stuff. Like when he hit it and
He
hit his
gone.
route and he coming across that drag, there was nobody on him. Like
All right,
Nobody.
literally,
fellas.
like
Can y'all see me now?
yeah, we
Yes,
see.
sir.
Uh,
All right.
Let's see.
So
no, it
now
looks good for
You
this
real.
need to
is
send that to Terry, Ryan.
Not just saying that either.
no.
He
He's
really does
already
looking
signed as
good.
an undrafted free agent.
Yeah,
Fellas. He was
Okay.
one of the undrafted free agents that we took.
Oh,
This
yeah,
is
yeah,
now
Yeah,
yeah,
he
he's
yeah.
looking like
He's
a
he's
part of the
watching.
team
steal. He
right
looking
now.
He's
like a
current.
Yeah,
So
he
here's
steal.
the
already on the
thing.
squadron.
He's
He already
currently
on the squad.
watching the Birdcage LLC live right now. He's on the West Coast. I hollered at him a little
man.
while ago, and he definitely, I made a poster for him and everything.
I'm getting
And
his
just
jersey.
to tell him, welcome to Atlanta. This is a guy that when you talk about they could change the game, he also returns kicks and he also returns punts as well.
Yes,
Okay.
So
yes, he
yeah, I
does.
get we got
We
Ray
know that.
McLeod, but guess what? That right there,
No, that right
put
there,
That
him,
you
guy.
can't teach that.
That
that
guy.
right
You
there,
can't
Bro,
teach.
what you
you
talking
put him
about?
back there.
The thing about it is, this is another thing, too, man. Most of these guys are on 1 year. So if you got 1 years, and if this guy is showing that he can do it on special teams, and possibly if he gets some time on the field, you're not
Absolutely.
going to bring back a Ray McLeod when you have a guy
Nope.
that you can upbring. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You can, you know what I'm saying, promote from within, if you will. So if he can make it, like, and stay there and stay healthy, hey, I like what I seen from the tape.
I'm
Yeah, me
telling you
too.
right now, I'm
The
getting my
fact he's
Isaiah
split
Wooden
defenders.
Senior jersey on deck. I'm letting you know that now. That is
Right
gonna be
now.
that is gonna be bought.
Hey,
There
the
you
fact
go.
that he split two receivers on a wide receiver screen and was
Bro,
untouched as
you
a
seen that.
process,
I didn't see
and
nobody touch him in
then
the highlight.
and then he slammed the safety on the stiff
Yeah.
arm and then got loose. Bruh,
Bro.
come on home, bruh.
That's
So
Come
why I
on,
said I like,
so
come
hold
on
up.
it was
home.
Now I get
bedtime
now here's
almost
the
every
thing.
play.
Now wait a minute. I
Come on
agree.
home.
Here's the thing. I like Avery. I still like Avery Williams, but guess what? Avery coming off a knee injury, and you got to realize it takes a year to fully get back in the swing of things. And when
Bro,
you
look
got
at
something
Cal
like
Pitt.
that coming in here,
Come
you
on,
ain't
bro.
gonna sit that on the bench.
No.
Nah.
And I
No.
guarantee you this: they're gonna find a way to put him on the field. You want to
Mm-mm.
know? You remember how the Rams used
Michael
Tutu
Avery at that
Atwell with
time.
his speed? Now
Yeah.
think about this. That's your Tutu Atwell right there. That is your
Yeah.
small receiver that's gonna outrun everybody that nobody can put hands on.
And the thing about it is, he really not that small
Mm-mm.
when you look at him in
No,
stature.
I'm talking about height wise, he's
Oh,
short.
yeah, I mean,
But if
yeah,
you
of
look
course
at
there,
When
of
him,
we
course
played
he
there,
got
Saints
some
and all
bricks
of
that.
on
course
him.
there.
When he
He
But
threw
it's
got
that
guys
bricks
at
Saints,
on
I
him.
his
was like,
height
yeah.
that are
When he threw
slimmer
that
than
Saints,
him.
I was like, he ain't no little
That
dude.
doesn't have his size.
Because here's
Yeah.
the thing, he's under
What's going
200
on, man?
pounds. He's actually around 185 pounds.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
not that.
yeah.
That's what I'm saying. He's not that heavy.
Mm-hmm.
That's what a lot of people don't really realize. He's just so chiseled and he's really taking care of his body or whatnot. And I've always prided myself on finding the guys that are from the smaller schools. You know what I'm saying? I've always
Indeed.
prided myself on that, whether it's HBCUs or whether it's guys that are coming out of the small schools. And he's one of those guys that all you can do is just sit back and say, Jesus, this boy is electric. He can turn things around and not just turn things around. Hell, he could be one of the guys that could be a pivotal part in rebuilding this team and taking us to a Super Bowl. With that type of speed and that type of man, how can I say it, managed behavior on the football field, he's managed. I'm gonna take it back for you. He managed.
Not managed.
He
Yeah, man,
managed
I
on the
mean,
football
managed.
field.
Him
He was
and B.
still
John
a-
on the field at the same time.
yeah.
Yeah, that's trouble.
he was
That's what
still-
it's
he was
it's
still
scary.
an undrafted free agent. Still an undrafted free agent.
Last time we
Because
had like
he reminds me of
like
Tyler.
that.
He reminds me of Taylor Gabriel.
Gabriel,
Yeah,
exactly.
really do.
But the
Exactly.
difference,
Much
but the
faster.
difference is this:
But much
the
faster.
speed isn't different, but the difference is this: if you go back and look at a lot of his footage, he will run over a guy if you give him a shot. He's not
That's
afraid
what
to
I'm
put his
saying.
shoulder down and go get you. So that's the difference. He's not afraid to go get it.
Nah, he gonna lay the boom if you get a
Oh, yeah.
chance.
I get it,
Definitely
Michael.
not.
Avery, yeah, we all know Avery. I've been one of the main ones that's been beating the drum for Avery Williams. But guess what? If
Yeah,
he
you was
does
begging
not
for him last year.
produce, if he does not produce this year, or if he
That
gets
guy?
beat out, he's out the door. Or he's gonna
Yeah, I
probably
was
end
about
up
to say
being a
we still
backup
got
cornerback.
OTAs, training
because
camp.
we-
It's
they-
still a long.
Because he
There's
played
no-
3 positions.
There's no loyalty to Avery Williams with this new coaching staff. They didn't.
Exactly.
They, don't
No,
have-
they didn't
have
draft
no
him.
loyalty.
Yeah.
They have
And
no
he
loyalty.
plays
did
3
not draft
positions.
him.
That might be his saving grace because he plays corner,
You're
plays running back, and he also is a return man. So he has multiple things he can do.
So you can find a spot for him, but overall,
You gotta get
the
him
guy
on the
that
field.
the guy that you're signing and the guys that you're drafting with the new regime, they're always going to favor like the guys that they kind of pick. So
And
Yes.
again, that is a
Very
West
much so.
Coast guy. Think about it now. He's from San Diego. He ended up starting off at Kent State and he left, and then he goes to Southern Utah University and literally balls out on that Division I AA level.
right.
You're talking
That's
about
Zach Robinson,
you're talking
right?
about against James Madison, which was a hell of a team. When you look at them being in the playoffs every year, he showed out against North Dakota State and those schools like that. So you're talking about, matter of fact, one of the cornerbacks that we signed on the undrafted free agency market, a guy by the name of Jaden Price, faced him and got torched by this dude. So all I'm saying is you can't keep talent off the field. That's talent,
You
right?
just can't do it.
Yeah.
That's
Lightning
talent.
bottom.
That cost you your job right there.
You got to find a way to get that man on the field. You got to.
Somehow.
You got to find a way.
I figured everybody was gonna get that buzz right now. I had to throw that jewel out there for y'all, man.
Oh yeah, that was a nice one.
I had to throw that one out there so y'all can go ahead. So guess what? So my fellow content creators that are paying attention to us, or even and that's on the panel, y'all start getting that name Isaiah Wooden Sr. circulated on your pages, because guess what? The more momentum we have for this young cat that's coming in here, that is going to be a chance to have something dynamic that is undrafted coming on the field.
I'm getting the jersey.
I've already said
I'm
getting the jersey. Next week, I'm probably gonna have his poster up behind me. I'm letting you know that now. I already got him a poster, but I'm probably gonna have it up behind me. But last but not least, we're actually gonna have to get to Mr. Jake Paddock, the man who was throwing to Casey Washington. This is the other undrafted free agent that we have that I spoke on a little early. So now let me go ahead and put that up for you guys real quick. So Jake Paddock is definitely a solid quarterback, and he has a lot of Brock Purdy type traits. If you get to watch him. Illinois wasn't that good, but he was one of those guys that was just nasty with it. So
we brought in 2 quarterbacks, not 1.
Yeah, we brought in 2.
Yes.
Fair use.
I believe that's for, like Ryan was saying earlier. I believe that's for Taylor Heineke.
And you got to try to take advantage of this opportunity.
Sling it out wide to Williams. Nice sidearm throw, and Isaiah Williams picks up the first down.
Yeah, I know we just restructured.
As Illinois takes over. Paddock.
We got some wiggle on the
quarterback.
No, that was the running back. That wasn't the running.
Can you imagine trying to tackle it?
Hold up real quick. They're showing Illinois versus. I got you. Hold up. I actually had his senior highlights up. I don't know why it didn't pull up. Give me a second, y'all. I'm gonna pull them up. Give me
All
one.
right, so if we picked up 2 other quarterbacks, okay.
Yeah, man, we want that room loaded.
Of course, we want that room loaded.
We want it young.
It's loaded.
We want it loaded, and we want it cheap.
Because when we get rid of,
We technically got 4.
When we get rid of or whatever,
So the telltale sign. So in my eyes, the telltale sign is I think that workout was definitely the defining thing that got us to go ahead and switch our whole board up for Penix. It wasn't a master plan. It couldn't have been because you wouldn't have re-signed Taylor Heineke if you really felt like that, unless you felt like spending a lot of money to be a smokescreen. Because you could have saved $6.95 million by cutting him before the roster bonus date.
Yeah.
That workout when they flew out there.
They flew out there. Exactly. So it wasn't no master plan prior to the draft. You know what I mean? Prior to the combine. It literally was, hey, we know about Michael Penix, we know his stuff, but
and if he fought to us, we'll take it.
At the combine, we were trying to get a starting quarterback. We in free agent, like either a trade or free agency. We were trying to get our starting quarterback. We weren't thinking about the draft of quarterback then. Once we got that secured, they was like, okay, we can think about the draft now. And they said, okay, let's take this last, 45-minute, well, not 45-minute flight, but however long that was.
Yeah, I've made that flight before from Washington, coming from Alaska when I was stationed out there. That is actually let's see. That's probably about a 6-hour flight, 6-7 hours.
About
7.5 hours.
That's about 6-7 hours.
It's a 6-hour flight.
So let me go ahead and play this for you guys real quick, man. So I got Penix highlights up for you guys. Fair use.
His mind was at the same speed as the game. Penix deep down the field.
Okay.
Penix throws it in there. John Penix, a hero for the
that's what I said. Okay.
Look
He
at
worked
this.
the pocket, moved up.
Penix, you played that perfectly.
He dropped that right in the bucket.
Outstanding catch running through.
They also get Reggie Love back this week. Saw him for a snap on the first drive. Off play action to him. It's Penix. And across the middle, complete. And Penix first big throw of the day.
You notice he's leading the when he throws the pass.
That's what you need to do.
Lead the receiver.
You notice every ball has been in front of his receivers, minus the back shoulder phase.
Last week's output.
Penix. And right between two defenders, he drills it into Fagan. We saw him score a touchdown in the pass game last week.
Pretty good. Vegas just running his wheel route. Falls right where it needs to be. Watch that hit.
Find the stuff that he's got.
He dropped that in the bucket.
Let's see if I can find his other stuff that I had up there the other night.
Penix, and he hit Williams.
Williams
off to the races.
That was a little behind him.
Williams inside the 20, and he shoved out.
He would have let him a little bit
A
more.
redemptive catch for Williams.
Just a little behind him.
It was
those are his Indiana game. I'm gonna show you against
Illinois.
So this is against Iowa.
Fair use.
Here's Penix.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot going on, but he is able to make the completion. Pat Bryant. Pressure coming. Gets it off, got a man, and this is a big game.
And again, he's good at putting the ball in traffic and putting them in small spaces.
Yeah, because it definitely was traffic in a small space right there.
Do you throw against Cooper?
Those big guys still delivering in a pass game. Penix on first down for Illinois. Looking down the middle, got a man.
So I think he actually did. He actually did in this game. I'm trying to remember which play it was exactly.
Penix putting it up. Caught again.
Good pass.
For the first down again inside the 45.
So here's the question I got for you. And that's Casey Washington that caught it.
Linebackers outside the box and allows you to run the ball and have success.
Williams, the motion man. A little flea flicker action. Penix looking deep, holds, throws. He's got Williams.
So the little bit that I've showed tonight, I ain't gonna get into that. So what do y'all think about Penix? And he's coming in as an undrafted free agent.
He makes decisions quickly. He doesn't hold on to the ball too long. He sees his first and second read, and he dumps it off. He don't hold the ball too long. He moves in the pocket very well, and he's very good with the anticipation throws. He throws all of his receivers open into a point where it just drops, where they can just go and run. They don't have to wait for the ball or nothing like that. It's already there. All they got to do is turn, catch, and go. So that he's already showing like really good traits. Like you said earlier, he does show a lot of Brock Purdy because he's accurate. Only thing is he has a much
he
bigger
is
arm
accurate.
than Brock Purdy. He has a much bigger arm.
Agreed.
Okay. So Chris, keep this short and sweet. What you got? Because I gotta pass this. I gotta pass this plate. I gotta
Shoot,
pass
I
this
ain't
plate
gonna
of
lie
beef
to you.
salad to everybody.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I agree with what was just said, man. I like what I was seeing. He definitely can be a backup for us, and he really can be more than that, depending on what scheme he plays in. So I like his arm, man. Like he just said, bigger arm than Brock, accurate, pretty accurate. Just only a couple plays behind, couple throws behind. But I like the kid. I can see some things for him. I can see some things.
Okay,
But
Dub.
pass his plate, man.
I mean, my opinion of him is like a lot of people are saying. I mean, he looks sharp. He's putting the ball on the money.
Yeah.
The passes I've seen, he throwing guys open. He's like he making anticipation throws. He anticipating where his receivers going to be.
Yeah.
I think he'll be a solid uh, third stringer for us. I believe they're going to move off of Heineke's contract somehow in some way. Yeah, this kid lights it up in
Gotta get him out of
training
here.
camp. I think he'll be a great arm for us that we can move. Like a la how New England did, how they build up quarterbacks behind quarterbacks, and then we can move him in a couple of years on a deal, for a
You
third
never know.
round pick or a fourth round pick. I mean, if he pans out, but if he doesn't pan out, he was an undrafted free agent. But I think that the ceiling is we get him and he shows some promise, and we can move him to another team for a draft pick and down in the future. But the floor is he's out the league. He didn't, cost as much because he was an undrafted free agent. But I do see some polish in him if he gets with Zach Robinson and pulls something out this kid.
Larry.
Look better than Ritter. So
God, he threw that in.
Jeez Louise.
We knew somebody was about to say that.
Definitely look better than Mariota.
Definitely
so
look better than Mariota.
that's always an improvement. But again, I don't ever need to see this kid play except for in the preseason. Period, point blank.
Yeah.
If I don't see Kirko change, it better be MPJ. Period. So yeah, I like his talent, but if I'm worried about a third string quarterback, he could definitely be there, But yeah, if I'm worried about a third string quarterback that came in the same class as my future quarterback, who they say supposed to be waiting 4 years, which I think is baloney. But
Yeah,
you're not gonna be able to hold that talent, and not just with the fans, but if the players see. But anyway, I don't want to get into that.
Oh no! You done opened that can of worms. You look. See, this one thing I know about you. See, Larry is that cousin or that uncle that's gonna come at the barbecue, or he gonna come to the house for Sunday dinner. Or he gonna come over. He gonna say one thing that's gonna start some mess. That's Uncle Larry right there. Look! You see how he turned his head? He threw that one out there. But
putting the head down.
Yeah.
Look,
so
man.
I'll just
put it
say
like
this
that.
here. I feel like this. Look, we know Penix is our future. Now, we also know, and I'm praying, and I'm knocking on wood, because I don't want anything to happen to him. But we also know the injury history too. Now, I want him to succeed here. I want him to be the best quarterback we have had in Atlanta because we took him at 8. Now, I'll put it this way. If we was to get in the situation where we had a Brock Purdy situation, I'm more comfortable with what I'm seeing from the quarterbacks that have been brought in.
Yes.
I am more comfortable with the quarterback room if somebody goes down, because let's be real. We saw what happened when Mariota went down. We see what happened when Ritter was playing bad. We see what happened with Taylor Heineke. Logan Woodside, he couldn't hit the ocean with a ball if he threw.
Poor Logan. He got thrown in when it just didn't talk about garbage time.
He got thrown in straight to the fire.
And then wasn't his first pass was an interception?
Yeah, it was.
Let's put it this way. When you really look at it, we have a heavy room. We have a heavy quarterback room where all the guys can play. All of them can play, minus Heineke. And the crazy part about it is we've been sitting here saying for the longest, when are we going to get quarterback competition in the room? When are we going to get this? because this is reminiscent of the Green Bay Packers of the early and mid 90s. Because think about all the quarterbacks that came through that quarterback room when Brett Favre was starting. You had Kurt Warner who came through, Mark Brunell, you had Matt Hasselbeck. It's so many starting quarterbacks that went through Green Bay
Well, you
when
had
Brett
McCouchy.
Favre was there. And you can't
McCouchy,
even
too,
forget Doug
before
Peterson
him.
was there because Doug Peterson was one of the quarterbacks who came through.
You had Mikowski before that, too.
Yeah, Mikowski got hurt, and that was it. Once he hurt his foot.
Favre took his job. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So when you look at it, the best thing I can say is this: do not get hurt. Do not get hurt. Whether you, and especially even, and I get you a first round pick, but this ain't the time to get hurt when you got a loaded quarterback room. Because we've already seen the 49ers what they did to their first round pick when he got hurt. You see how they slid Brock Purdy in there after they had all those other guys that didn't pan out. He got hurt, but they went with him. Now, I'm not wishing anything, but we always have to make sure we visit that scenario because that is a possibility. Because Kirk ain't 100%. Penix is healthy right now, but we got to see if he can take the pounding in the NFL. We got to make sure that he can take that because we already know the arm is there. We know the talent is there. He can run. He can throw. One of the smartest he was really the smartest quarterback in this draft. Go back and look at his test scores. Smartest quarterback.
I think he got the quickest release too. That's what I'm thinking.
It's between. I would have to say quickest. Quickest release would have, as much as I don't want to say it, would have to go to Caleb Williams. That's the quickest release. Penix is right there with him. But Caleb had one of the quickest. Caleb actually had the quickest release out of this class. And right behind him is another guy that I would say had another quick one was Michael Pratt. And that was the guy that I was high on.
Where he end up going, by the way?
I forget where did Michael Pratt go.
Oh no, man. We about to go look at them stats, man. That man was getting that.
Because I know in a couple of years we're gonna have.
We're not saying that. We're just saying with the release part. We already know what his stats are. We're saying with the release.
Not the stats. Not his passing stats. I'm just saying like they got some kind of way to measure it at that release.
Well, here's the thing. Well, Pratt's in Green Bay right now, so he ain't starting.
Okay, Green Bay.
Yeah, he's in Green Bay. But think about this. So think about this. So when we talk about the release or whatever, I'll say this, Penix had a better offensive line than Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams had to get rid of the football. So that is the reason why we say his release was a little bit quicker because he wasn't trying to get hit. And that was the reason why he had all those spectacular Michael Vick plays.
All that money they got in Cali and they couldn't get that man a decent offensive line.
Man.
That's what I don't get. How
folks was up out of there, man. NIL will do it too.
You got a talented quarterback with a live arm who can make stuff happen. I'll say this: he practically won a lot of those ball games with his legs. For them, he won a ton of those ball games with his legs and him being able to create plays. Could you imagine if he would have had an offensive line and flourished? Because remember, he was a Georgia recruit at one point. He passed on Georgia after the whole Justin Fields fiasco.
Yeah.
So I get it. But can you imagine if he would have been at Georgia with that offensive line and had the time that Stetson Bennett and Carson Beck and them boys have?
Hey, man, you give a quarterback some time, he'll carve you up. I mean, really.
Pretty much.
Hey, guys, can you believe that we're going to have Spencer Rattler, Michael Penix, Bryce Young in the same division in a couple years?
I'm glad that Spencer Rattler went to the Saints. I'm so happy Spencer Rattler went to the Saints.
Because the worst thing could happen is if he turns around and stops turning the ball over. Because we all know he got flashes of being able to be good. It's just what quarterback coach is going to be able to break him of those habits.
He's a turnover.
But look where he played at. Let's be real, dog. Look where he played at and look what he lost. Jaheim Bell was one of his top.
He got his job snatched from him.
Let's be real. Jaheim Bell and your boy that went to Jaheim Bell, the tight end who went to Florida State. And then you had Xavier Leggett with a reason that he was starting to eat out there in South Carolina. When Bell left, it was mainly just Xavier Leggett and I forget the other kid's name who hurt his foot last year versus Georgia because they was eating. So when you look at it, it's not the fact that he's bad. It's the fact that he's never had nobody to truly be. You sitting here looking like that. Let's be real, Larry. Lincoln Riley never tried to develop him.
No,
Everybody know that. Caleb Williams was right behind
Caleb
him when he got to
Caleb Williams
Oklahoma.
was his guy.
Thank you. He was
Oh yeah,
developing
I
Caleb
believe
Williams.
that.
He
Yeah,
didn't invest no time into that kid.
None.
Yeah,
That's
man.
the reason why he struggled the
look.
way that he did.
Oh, it ain't my fault. Did I do that?
It ain't got
Yeah.
to be your fault, but that's fact though. Everybody
Hey,
know that because you see what happened when Lincoln Riley left and who went with him.
I just
Caleb
think he's.
Williams.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I
Yeah,
think he's just got to get the mental right, and he's a turnover machine, like Larry was saying.
yeah, turnover machine, man. I
Well, the
appreciate
thing about it is, I wish him nothing but success, except
Not
for when
against
he
us.
plays the Falcons. That's what I'm saying, except for when he plays the
Look.
Falcons. I need
Look.
him with a 2 turnover minimum when he
No.
plays the Falcons.
You generous.
What?
I need a 3-piece.
I need 3.
I said
need a
2
3-piece.
turn. I said minimum.
If
He can't go
average
below 2
turnovers a
turnovers.
game, he's not starting.
I need a hold on. I need a Desmond Ritter type performance. I need a fumble
Oh,
and I need 2
good
picks.
Lord.
I need a fumble and 2 picks from this boy.
Well, I need a new Mariota throw, and it need to be called the rat. I need a new Mariota
about when
throw.
he's throwing on his
Somebody
side?
else need to take this on.
Hey,
Somebody
man.
else need to
I
take
need
this
3
on.
cookies. Straight
Well,
up.
look. Well, we gonna go ahead and get them cookies back. We already got the dessert on the table, man. We definitely getting ready to have the last part of the dessert. I want to thank Chris for coming on, Larry for coming on. You guys tell those. So, Larry, you go ahead and tell everybody where they can check you out, and Chris, you do so afterwards, and then we gonna wrap it up.
Gotcha.
I appreciate you letting me be on the platform, sir, as always. Guys, if you haven't done it yet, please hit that like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you'll know when Ryan come on and give you this fire commentary and this fire content, man. You see it in my name right there. At the _Dixon_way, man. That's where we go. Me and my beautiful wife do live commentary. Just something different in this fandom space on YouTube, that if you guys want to watch the game and want to find an ulterior motive to alternate way to listen to the game, then come check us out, man. We interact with the chat, so you just don't hear me talk. We can talk back and forth, talk about the game, like we sitting there, being at the bar or being in the same room with each other, So we try to interact with the people. We got a lot of saying, a lot of things we do during the game, try to make it really interactive, fun, and informative. So yeah, that's what we do, man. Y'all turn down y'all TV and turn up the Dixon way.
Man, I just shared your link in the chat or whatnot, man. So I'm gonna do the same for Chris. Chris, tell the people where they can find you.
Hey man, it's A1 Forever Sports, the show that's cool and fly too on YouTube. Be generational because there's always time to be, and you can don't you ever, settle for less, because you can always have more with the vision. And I just encourage everybody each and every day to find your peace today, man. Positive energy always creates elevation, and that's how you find your peace. So I want everybody to find their peace today. And come on over to A1 Forever Sports. It's just like how it is down in the name below. I'll pop right up, man. Come on over, take a chat with us. I'm also part of the 95 North Sports Machine Forever with my boys, Smooth Smitty Smith. And then we also have Alberto. I'll be messing with him sometimes. But man,
Berto gonna beat you down, bro.
Hey man, they're my brothers, man.
It don't matter. Listen,
I talk to them every day, man. Hey,
we your extended cousins over here, so we already know what's gonna go down. They finna put foots in your behind.
No, man, not me, man.
Like that.
Not me, man.
No.
I'm the likable one. I'm the likable guy.
Never that.
Hey,
Yeah,
Lois,
again,
I do
man.
have a question for you.
Berto gonna be on some stuff though. But
Hey, man.
but man, thank y'all for coming through, fellas. I definitely appreciate it as always. And shout out to my magnificent Birdcage crew that stepped in tonight, and they do a wonderful job as always, bringing the heat as they always do. We don't do Louisiana hot sauce. We bring that Texas Pete flavor on the table, or that hot sauce that has no label that's on the bottom. It just says hot with the red cap on the top. If you've been to a fried chicken joint, you know what it is, man.
I know exactly what it is.
So definitely appreciate you guys for coming through, as y'all always do, man. Love y'all boys, and continue to Y'all stay healthy out here. And for everybody that's in the chat, man, we definitely appreciate you guys for spending time with us tonight and talking about the Falcons. But understand, man, we're like an extended family. You know, we try to bring some happiness and love to you guys because guess what? Outside of the Falcons football that brings a lot of people joy, people have problems every day. Keep God first. Understand that no matter how bad things are or how rough things are, it's always something that's worse out here. So every time we get on this platform, we definitely take pleasure in being able to take your mind off your problems or whatnot, man. We love you guys. Thank y'all for coming in, and we'll see you next Thursday as we say adios. You either get right or you get left. Birdcage, we out.